students, I hope you all are doing well. This is your maths teacher Shweta Bajaj.
Now, students, we are going to start with a new chapter, chapter number 10, Understanding Elementary Shapes. Before starting, subscribe my channel if not subscribed yet, and don't forget to share and like the video. And please mention your name, class, and section in the comment box for attendance. So, our first topic is measuring line segments. And students, we know that a line segment has a fixed length and its length can be measured with a ruler or a scale. A line segment forms a part of a line or a ray. Now note that how the ruler is marked along one of its edges, it is divided into 15 parts. If we will talk about the small ruler now, so it is divided into 15 parts. Each of these 15 parts is of length 1 centimeter and each centimeter is divided into 10 subparts. Each subpart of the division of a centimeter is 1 millimeter. Now we know that 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. So we can also write 1 millimeter is equals to 0.1 centimeter. So 3 centimeter, 8 millimeter is equals to 3.8 centimeter or 38 millimeter. We can measure the length of a line segment by placing the marked edge of the ruler along the line to be measured. The zero of the scale is placed to coincide with one end of the line segment and the length of the line is read from the scale coinciding with the other end of the line. Now students, let us do one example based on it.
Now question number 7 of exercise 10A says that draw line segment of length and the first part is 6.7 centimeter. So students, first of all mark a point on the paper at the zero of the ruler like this. Mark a point on the paper. This is a point at the zero of the ruler and then go to 6.7 centimeter mark on the ruler like this. 6.7 centimeter on the ruler. You will stop here, right? Now you have drawn a line along the edge of the ruler. So we get a straight line segment of length 6.7 centimeter. Name it as OA. Hopefully it is clear to you.
Next topic is comparing line segments. First method is comparison by observations. Now students, by just looking at the line segments, can you tell which is a longer one? Line segment A or line segment B? You can see that line segment B is longer, but you cannot always be sure about your usual judgment. For example, look at the adjoining segments. So for lines or line segments which are nearly equal to each other, this method is not accurate or you cannot tell which is longer. So we have to explore other methods for comparison. Next method is comparison by tracing, and to compare line segment AB and line segment CD we use a tracing paper and then we trace segment CD and place the trace segment on AB. Now can you decide which one among AB and CD is longer? So students, this method depends upon the accuracy in tracing the line segment. Moreover, if you want to compare with another length, you have to trace another line segment, which is quite difficult. And you cannot trace the lengths every time you want to compare them. Now let us see the another method of comparison. Next method is by measuring with a ruler. We can compare the lengths of two line segments by measuring them with a ruler. This is a more accurate method. Next method is by measuring with a divider. We can compare two line segments by using a divider from a geometry box. We open the divider and place one needle point of the divider at one point M of the line and open it such that the other end of the divider is at the point N, the other end point of the line segment. Now, without disturbing the separation between the two arms, place one needle point at point S of the second line segment. The other needle point of the divider will indicate whether ST is shorter or longer than MN. Hopefully, it is clear to you. Next topic is pairs of lines. And the first is intersecting lines. It says that two lines AB and CD in a plane that cut each other at a point O are called intersecting lines, and the point O at which they intersect is called the point of intersection. So from here we got the two main points, which says that a minimum of two lines are required for intersection, and the common point where all the intersecting lines meet is called the point of intersection. Hopefully it is clear to you. Now let us see some examples based on it. Examples of intersecting lines are rail crossing roads, scissors, alphabet X. Hopefully it is clear to you. Next topic is parallel lines, and its definition says that lines that do not intersect are known as parallel lines. And in an example, you can think of railroad tracks. Now students, here you can see how the parallel lines look. Here lines L and M are shown to you. So line L and M are parallel lines. Lines AB and CD are shown to you. So lines AB and CD are parallel lines, and this is how you write it. You can see here, and this is how you say it, that line L is parallel to line M and line AB is parallel to line CD. Now let us see some examples. Now example of parallel lines are ladder, railroad tracks. Now students, you can note down some important points, and the first point says that parallel lines are always equidistant from each other. Equidistant means are at equal distance. And second point says that two lines can be parallel, two line segments can be parallel, two rays can be parallel, a ray and a line segment can be parallel, a line and a ray can be parallel, and a line, segment and a ray can be parallel. Hopefully it is clear to you. Next topic is concurrent lines, and it says that three or more lines that intersect at the same point are known as concurrent lines. Here you can see an example. Line AG, BF and DH are concurrent lines and they intersect at the point K. Now students, note down here K is the same point of all lines. So the point at which the lines intersect is the point of concurrency. Hopefully it is clear to you. Now students, I am going to show you one more example, and in this example you will see the non-concurrent lines. See here an example of non-concurrent lines. Here these three lines are not having the same point of intersection. So these three lines are non-concurrent lines. Hopefully it is clear to you. Next topic is perpendicular lines, and it says that perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form a right angle. The symbol used for perpendicular lines is shown here, and four right angles are formed at the point of intersection. In this figure, line M is perpendicular to line N, and with symbols we will write it like this. Now students, let us see some real life examples of perpendicular lines. Some of the real life examples of perpendicular lines are window pane, foursquare, floor tiles. These examples all have perpendicular lines that meet at a 90-degree angle. Hopefully it is clear to you.
Now question number 4 says that in the figure identify and write And the first part is a pair of parallel lines. Now students, see here one figure is shown to you and you have to tell the pair of parallel lines in this figure. And here the pair of parallel lines is this line P and this line Q. See, if I will extend these lines, they will not intersect each other. So that means the lines P and Q are parallel lines. So answer will be P and Q. Now second part says that a pair of perpendicular lines. Now see the figure again. See the figure again. Here you can see here is a symbol of 90 degree. So that means this line M is perpendicular to the line R. This line M is perpendicular to the line R. So pair of perpendicular lines is M and R. Hopefully it is clear to you. Now third part says that the point of intersection of lines L and R. Now see the figure again. Here the lines L and R. This is the line L and this is the line R. Where are they intersecting? They are intersecting at the point F. So the answer will be F only. Hopefully third part is clear to you. Now see the fourth part. They are asking lines which intersect at E. Now see the figure again. See the figure again. Here, this is the point E. Now see which lines are intersecting at the point E. This line Q and this line L. So line Q and L intersect at E. So the answer will be L and Q or Q and L. You can write anything. Hopefully this part is also clear to you. Next is question number 6 and it says that in the figure identify and name the following. And the first is lines ML and ON. Now students, in this figure see the line ML. This is the line ML and the line ON. What type of lines are they? ML and ON. If you will see, on extending them, they will not intersect each other. So that means what are they? They are parallel lines. So the answer will be parallel lines. Now see the second part. They are asking lines ON and FG. Now see the line ON. This is a line ON and see the line FG. This is a line FG. Now they are intersecting each other. They are intersecting each other at the point D. So what type of lines are they? Lines ON and FG are intersecting lines. Hopefully these two parts are clear to you. Now see the third part. See the third part. Intersection of lines NO and FG. NO means beta what? NO means ON only. So NO and FG, as I told you earlier, they are intersecting at the point D. So intersection of lines NO and FG is the point of intersection and that is D. Hopefully it is clear to you. Now see the fourth part. In fourth part, they are asking lines LM, JK and FG. LM, JK and FG. See the figure. See the figure. LM. This is LM. This is JK. Where is JK? This is JK. And the third line is FG. This is FG. Now if you will see, these three lines are meeting each other at the point E. So that means these are concurrent lines. As the definition of concurrent lines says that three or more lines meeting at the same point are known as concurrent lines. So lines LM, JK and FG are concurrent lines. Next, Next, they are asking, in fifth part, they are asking what is point E? What is point E? What is point E? See, this is the point E, and I have discussed with you now only that this point E is the point of concurrence, because these three lines LM, JK and FG were concurrent lines. So this point E is the point of concurrence. So right here point E is the point of concurrence.
Next topic is angles, and students, we already know that two rays with a common initial point form an angle, which is the space between the intersecting rays. Two line segments with a common endpoint also form an angle. Here you can see the figure in which angle CBA is shown to you. Here the sides are the two rays of the angle, and the rays are BA and BC, and the vertex is the common end of the two rays, and here the vertex is B. Hopefully it is clear to you. Next topic is types of angles, and students, we already know that angles are measured in degrees and is denoted by this symbol, and different types of angles are shown below. And the first is when the arms OA and OB overlap each other. The angle between the arms is 0 degree, or it is known as zero angle. Hopefully it is clear to you. Next is acute angle, and when an angle measures between 0 degree and 90 degree, it is called an acute angle. It is formed when the arm OA makes less than 1/4 of a revolution about the point O. The angles formed between OA and OB shall measure between 0 degree and 90 degree. For example, 11 degree, 41 degree, 50 degree, 89 degree, etc. Next is right angle. An angle whose measure is 90 degree is called a right angle. It is formed when the arm OA makes exactly 1/4 of a revolution about the point O. The angle formed between OA and OB is 90 degree. Hopefully it is clear to you. Next is obtuse angle, and it says that an angle with its measure between 90 degree and 180 degree is called an obtuse angle. It is formed when the arm OA makes a revolution greater than 1/4 and less than half about the point O. The angle formed between OA and OB lies between 90 degree and 180 degree, such as 93 degree, 179 degree, 105 degree. Next is straight angle. An angle with a measure of 180 degree is called a straight angle. It is formed when the arm OA makes exactly half a revolution about the point O. In a straight angle, OA and OB are opposite rays, and the angle between them is 180 degree. OA and OB form a straight line AB. Hopefully it is clear to you. Next is reflex angle. An angle with its measure lying between 180 degree and 360 degree is called a reflex angle. It is formed when the arm OA makes a revolution greater than half but less than one full revolution about the point O. The angle formed between OA and OB lies between 180 degree and 360 degree, such as 200 degree, 359 degree, 301 degree. Next is complete angle. An angle which measures 360 degree is called a complete angle. It is formed when the arm OA exactly completes one revolution about the point O. The to two arms of the angle OA and OB overlap each other and the angle between them is 360 degree. Hopefully it is clear to you.
Now question number 4 of exercise 10b says that find the measure of angle PQR without using a protractor and state what kind of angle PQR is. Now students, see the figure carefully and you want to find out angle PQR, and if you will see, angle PQR is made up of angle PQS and angle SQR. So if we will add angle PQS and angle SQR, we will get the value of angle PQR, and on adding 34 and 56 we will get 90 degree as an answer. And you know that an angle measuring 90 degree is a right angle. So what type of or what kind of angle PQR is? Angle PQR is a right angle. Hopefully it is clear to you. Now next I have taken is third part of the same question, and in this part also you have to find the value of angle PQR. That means this angle you have to find out, PQR, this one. Right, now students, if you will see the figure, you are given with angle PQS, and angle PQS is equals to how much? See, this is PQS. PQS is this whole, that is 120 degree, and you are also given with angle RQS, and that is equals to see the figure, that is equals to 50 degree. 50 degree. Now since you want to find out angle PQR, you want to find out this angle, right? So for finding out this angle, what you will do? You will subtract angle RQS from angle PQS, and on subtracting, what you will get? You will get 120 degree minus 50 degree, and that is equals to 70 degree. Hopefully it is clear to you. Now one more thing is asked in the same question, and they are asking what kind of angle is angle PQR. Now students, you know that an angle with its measure between 0 degree and 90 degree is called an acute angle. So here you got your angle PQR as 70 degree. So that means angle PQR is an acute angle. Hopefully it is clear to you.
Now students, pause your video and note on your home task, and in your home task you have to do question number 1 of exercise 10A in book, question number 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10 in book, and rest of the questions you will do in notebook. In exercise 10B, you can do question number 1, 2, 3 in book, and you have to do question number 4 in notebook. So with this, our exercise 10A and 10B is over. I hope you like the video. Thank you.